the most common goal that I hear from anybody, whether it's in my work, whether it's in my friendship groups, people in my life, is this deep desire to connect with authenticity. And this pull to the question again and again, the age-old question of who am I? Who am I? And what does that mean? Now, we can be really esoteric about that question, and I could tell you to contemplate all sorts of philosophy and riddles and Zen master teachings. All of those are a valid road to uncover the question of who am I? What is authenticity? What does it mean to me? That would all be valid. Or you can do the very simple practice that I have taught all of you already, but I will walk through it again with you now as a practice that you can do, because again, I will reiterate the point, I suppose, the message behind the teaching or behind the process that we do is authenticity. All authenticity is gathering enough parts of self back into the present moment that you can show up in a way that is whole, or as whole as any of us can be in any given moment, because there are infinite parts of ourselves. It'll be your journey forever to be bringing in more, embodying more self, more soul, so to speak, the bigger self. How much of that self can you bring in this lifetime? That's the meaning of life for any of us. How much can you embody? And that question then initiates that process of integration, of authenticity, of coming back to having an understanding of self as more than this physical body. That self would be all these aspects, unclaimed aspects that you lose through trauma, you lose through overwhelm, you lose through environmental reasons, society, conditioning, all of that. Doesn't matter. Because the process remains the same, and the process remains your body is your direct communication to your subconscious mind. It's your direct communication to the infinite parts of you. So within, and not just the physical body. I don't mean just the physical body, though that helps, but I mean the inner landscape. So that when you drop into that depth, when I ask you to go down, drop into that heart space, that open heart space, when you think about someone or something that you love, it can be a bit of food, it can be a cocktail, doesn't matter what sparks that open-heartedness. But when you drop into that open-heartedness, perhaps a landscape that just brings you so much joy in nature, that expansiveness, that's what I mean by that landscape is your direct communication with whatever, something bigger than you. And so by going into your body and finding anywhere that is tight, that is small, and it can be a physical location, such as you might feel a tension in your shoulders and your neck, you can work with that. Or it might be a more nuanced feeling of restriction. There might just be a little energetic closure, and you'll have subtle little micro movements that indicate that to you when you think about a person, place, or a situation. You'll just maybe have a little cringe, a little shutdown, a little contraction around that particular thing, thought, behavior, whatever. That's it. So that is where you have ostracized, you've closed out a part of yourself in that closure, and that's where inauthenticity will breed. Anywhere there's a retraction, a contraction, a fear response. You can't be authentic and open but in contraction and fear at the same time. And so that is where you work directly, and you know how to do it. You work directly with that contracted part, and then you go and find the part that is detached. Now, I say this, and when I've worked with you, I'm sure you'll know the process of me asking you to find the part that's just okay in the present moment, that just feels fine now. That's true. To find the part that feels under or lower than all that mind chatter or that contraction. But what is behind that request of finding a part that's just okay, that's separate from it, is actually a deeply spiritual practice. And that is the idea of sacred neutrality, or the idea of the seat of the soul. It is the frequency of perspective, of zooming right out and looking at the big picture and connecting with that bigger perspective of, I'm okay. You know, amongst all of this nitty gritty everyday stuff, and sometimes that everyday stuff is big. It's big stuff. It's perspective wise, it's tragedy, it's loss, it's grief, it's illness, it's on here on the ground, it's big. But there will always be this, and sometimes it's tiny, sometimes it's just the size of a grain of sand, but it's always there, and it's a part that has the ability to recognize that right now, right in this moment, I'm all right, I'm okay. And as soon as you can even touch that part and put your awareness in that frequency of neutrality, of deep acceptance, surrender, peace, whatever word resonates with that feeling, then that contraction starts to soften. You'll feel it just, the edges might soften, the whole feeling might dissolve, or maybe you just feel a little bit more spaciousness in the part that felt tight, pinched, or contracted. Just an opening. And you can practice with that process. But I need you to understand the power of it. It's not just a little matter of, oh, yeah, okay, release this, but not understanding the bigger picture, because the bigger picture is a process of ascension. It's a spiritual awakening. It's a reclaiming self to stop feeding energy into the past or wherever that self was caught, and to be able to bring it into the present moment, to show up to the present moment with more energy, more power. And by power, I mean the power of authenticity, to bring more of yourself into something so you can give more, you can be more present and hold more light in yourself in whatever moment you show up to. And the reason I'm really giving you the background for this is it's more important than ever now to be really dedicating at least a part of your day to doing this. It's necessary, and there's not really even a choice about it anymore. It's okay, I know that I need to, I'm craving it so deeply, but how can I bring that in? I'm telling you how. So doing that process brings more spaciousness to your body, and what that spaciousness allows is more light, more peace, more you, more soul you, to embody more of that. Where was taken up with little niggly thoughts and little niggly worries, little niggly contractions, you're releasing it into the ability to embody more of yourself. So that is the background about the process, that when I tell you I want you to go home and I want you to practice this, so you've got a framework of what you're actually doing. You're raising your own consciousness is what you're doing. And as you raise the consciousness, what happens is this question of who am I? What is authenticity? What does it mean to me? It is revealed. Like, oh, it was there all along. I understand who I am now. How did I miss that? I actually knew it all this time, but it was covered over with different beliefs and thoughts and fear and smallness. And it's to the time now, whether it's you personally in your own life or as a collective, we're done with smallness. We're done with being held in fear, held back from that authenticity that we know is just there. We're just sick of it. I don't know about you, but I am. I'm sick of feeling like I can't embody more light, more. How can I show up for you more? Okay? By making more space for more soul to come in. And so can you, for whatever you want to show up for in your life, whether it be your job, your children, or just the collective. This is the work. It's not a chore, it's a sacred practice. So please do your homework.